What's up, Stephen Johnson Stocks? Cheers to the weekend, having a San Miguel light in tribute to our lost friends in Catalan trying to escape democracy. But good week, just having a little beer. More importantly, to toast kind of back-to-back green months. Up 730 bucks, 350 on the week, and it's been a bit of a mad week, which you'll see in the video. I should have cleared 1,000. I did something stupid with Trade Zero, had some broker problems. But I will clear that 1,000, and I'm slowly working towards 2,000. And I think this kind of time is good to reflect and say, what did I do well and what did I not do well? And I think everyone should be thinking that. Don't just think about the negatives. Think, what did I do really well that I can continue, and what did I not do so well? And this week, I sized up well, taking $8,000 to $10,000 positions without really panicking much. I'm really getting used to taking like $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 positions, and it feels fine. And I also studied a lot. The more I get profitable, the more I want to study. So I'm doing like a couple of hours every day, just did a couple of hours now. What did I not do so well? Got a little bit hyper aggressive, chasing shorts down, and then that sometimes come into the next thing when I didn't follow the plan that I'd set before the market. And that's sometimes catching me in a situation where I'm not sure what I'm doing all of a sudden, because I'm like, oh shit, this wasn't the plan, and I'm getting squeezed. So I can definitely get better entries. I can definitely stick to plans, but I can definitely just sit out one day and say I'm not taking a trade. But overall, I mean, you're taking 350 bucks. I've just been profitable the last few months. I'm going to be happy and take a beer, so let's do some comments in the next segment. That is Stephen drinks San Miguel and talks to you guys. So, one drink, one comment. Johnny Samu, dang, that's awesome. You'll be making magazines and TV appearances within the year. For sure, when you make $1 million. And, yeah, I've got some cool plans. I think I might travel around a bit and start like a travel trading blog on YouTube on top of everything else. Jose Diolio, Stephen, I'm almost ready to get me journey trading. Wait a second. Already been studying the basics on YouTube. What advice do you have? Watch Trader Checklist, and then click the affiliate link to start the Silver program. See what you think of it. If you like it and you're learning, join the challenge. That's the challenge. Got me consistently profitable in 11 months. On the 11th month, it was my green month. And then since, I've banked nearly 2K in the last few months. Rob, hey Stephen, I just come across a podcast with Tim Bowen. Yes, Steady Trade podcast, guys. Watch it. We've just done an interview with Roland. I listened to all of season 1. I've listened to the 2 episodes of season 2 right now. I watched your videos. All I can say is thank you. I'm going into month 8 of learning, not trading. I've learned a lot, and now just because of you, I now understand a lot more. Thanks. Thank you, Rob, for the comment. Love shit like that. Drink to you. God, it tastes good. Enjoy the trades, enjoy the lessons. Remember that on top of 8 months of learning, it'll probably take 12 months of learning from your mistakes. And every week you should be looking back at your trades on a journal, on profit, you think, what did I do well, what did I not do well? That's about it. I'll see you all later.
Yeah, so up 730, and I'm up 350 on the week, 730 on the month, which all considering the $300 borrow fee from Trade Zero, which you'll see in the upcoming slide. I should be over 1,000 if I didn't pay that stupid $300 borrow fee, and it is what it is. But there's a good 9 trading days left in the month. I think hopefully I'll clear the 1,000 mark, which was the goal, just to have some sort of consistency, bringing in 1,000 each time. And then in December I'll push for maybe $1,500. I'm still getting used to Trade Zero. I'm still getting used to not over trading when I'm not in PDT anymore. And I think a good goal for November is just to clear the 1,000 mark. Anywhere near 1,100, 1,200 will be brilliant. And then December go for 1,500. And then if I can consistently get around the $2,000 profit level, then that's where I'm thinking I'm going to start looking to just travel and trade for a bit. And maybe move to Thailand, do a month or so in Thailand, do a month or so in the Philippines, do a month or so in Bali, and then maybe head across to the States. This is the long-term goal, I think. Providing I can sustain the income of making $2,000, $2,500 a month, and that's the goal. And I always go from winning percentage, get your winning percentage in the 50s to 60s, and the profits will come. You can't force success. It happens when it happens. but I'm nicely building me Interactive Brokers account up, increasing my overall account sizes by like 5-6%. So say I've got a $14,000 account. If you increase it by, obviously you're growing it to like 15,000, then 16,000, then 18,000. So I'm building, not at a great pace, but I need to look at where I've come from. And just a few months ago, I wasn't profitable. And the Excel is not for sale right now, although I have been tracking setups still. But I want to add new setups, make it better, and really grow and enhance it and make it a whole new fucking animal. Okay, DCIX. So, I mean, this is one of my favorite trades of the month as well. Just because it's a good lesson, because what happened was I actually got charged $300 in borrow fees for Trade Zero because I held it overnight, and you get charged 7 times the daily fee for the first night that you hold it over. So say the borrow fee was $60, which I didn't realize in the first place. I thought it would be a couple of dollars like the rest of the stocks. And then I got charged 7 times, so it ended up being like a $300 and something borrow fee. And I made $160 profit on the trade. The funny thing was, it was not hard to borrow at Interactive Brokers, so I could have actually just made $160 profit if I'd borrowed it at Interactive Brokers, which I was going to, but I decided to try and save a day trade, and it turned out to be a $300 mistake. But it's okay, I made the money back, and I still made $400 or $300 this week. But it could have been like a $600 week, and I would have cleared $1,000 if it wasn't for that stupid mistake with a broker, not a bad trading mistake. But anyway, this is a terrible company. If you go back, it's had reverse split, it's diluted the stock, endless. The company is junk. This is the penny stock and framework pattern. So it goes up, the 3, the slam down is the 4, then it typically has a bounce. I was prepared to short anywhere in the bounce going from the 12s to the 13s to the 14s. And I was thinking, honestly, this will go back down to the 3. So if I take 1,000 shares, I'll make 4 times my money and make $4,000. Saying, Tim Bone, is this a good idea, do you think? And he was saying, no, it's dead risky. I was like, but look, it's going to go back down to the 4s. It's a penny stock and framework pattern. And he was saying, I know, but you never know what's going to happen with these stocks. And it did pop up, and he was kind of right. But at the same time, I was kind of right because I could have took all of these profits. I was short from pretty much the 12s, and I could have been covering down in the 6s, taking 100% on my money. So had I have held, it would have been a $1,000 win. But granted, I'll not do this again because it's too risky, and I'll certainly not do it with Trade Zero. But let me quickly take you through the trades. So this is the fall on the penny stock and framework pattern when it comes down. I was shorting into the 15s and maybe a little bit into the 14s. Cracked. I thought this is the end. I held, popped back up, dropped, and then I held it over the weekend. Didn't do much this day, held it, and I was just bored with it. I was like, fuck this, I'm getting out. So I was covering some of the 12s, and then it cracked down to the 10s, and then it cracked down to the 8s, and then it cracked down to the 5s at some point. So I could have took double my money. Granted, I would never do it unless I was with Interactive Brokers. Granted, it had earnings news, and look what it did the next day. It popped back up to the 8s, and then it went all the way up to the 17s. So it is risky. This pop can happen at any time. I'll probably not short the shipping sector again. Never with Trade Zero. But it's a good lesson, and it's kind of Tim Bone's experience there, thinking, look, anything can happen on these ships. It's me being a bit younger and a bit more of a risk taker, thinking I'm going to take it down to the 3s because it's 50-50. You'll short it in the 11s, it'll either go down to the 3s or it'll go back to the fucking 20s. You're risking 50-50, it's not the best trade. I've learned that in hindsight. It's a beautiful lesson. Many beautiful lessons, and I'll remember them, and I'm not shorting the shipping sector, that's too risky. Okay, so this was pretty much my best trade of the week, or definitely my favourite one, maybe my favourite one of the month as well. And I mean, if we just take a quick look on Profitly, I only took like 6.2% on 2,400 shares, which was, the stock's about $1.50, so I took about 6% on a $4,000 position, something like that. But I was proud because it was a quick reaction. So I've got a pre-market scan, over 25 cents, under $20. I'll play any of these stocks in this range, as long as it's over 10% on the day, and trading more than 50 shares in the opening by the opening bell. So I'll run this, and I just saw kind of ABIO go up, up, like a fucking penguin sliding down a ski slope, but the other way. It was going up rather than down. And it was racing. And as it was popping up through the ranks of the tickers, because I'm measuring them by up the most percent on the day, I clicked on it. I quickly looked at the long-term chart, seeing it's ultimately from the 5s down to the 1s. It's had this death drop, and I thought I'll short anything into the low 2s, because we can see it's got this resistance here and here. Well, it was previous support that becomes resistance. And then before it had the death drops, I was like, and I checked the news, it had no relevant news. So I was like, I'll short anything here. So I checked the long-term chart, and granted, I mean, it's pretty scary. And if we just look at my average, my entry was the 168s. So as soon as it had this big push and then this wick, I was trying to get as much as I could, because that was a big rejection from the kind of the 2s. And generally, you can see that when it's rejecting near the 2s, and then it had this bigger push. So I was shorting into this and into this. And I was getting anything that I could. So I was shorting. At first, I hesitated. I'm going to tell the truth. I hesitated. And I was like, is this going to blow through the 2s or not? But when it had the big wick here and then it had the big wick here, I was getting short when it rejected 2s, because basically it means that there's a lot of big short sellers smashing, selling into this short, taking big positions. And longs are probably selling, thinking it's rejecting that too. But generally, when it fires hard off this and it has this big wick with this much volume, it's a stuff. And it looks like shorts are piling in on the 2 because they know it's junk. So I was shorting, chasing it down a little bit, but not really chasing, because I'm shorting it into 4 green candles. So it's not really chasing, but I'm chasing the wick. I was shorting like the 180s. It slammed back. At this point, I was getting anything I could, shorting the 170s and the 160s. Maybe some of the 155s, following it down, giving us a 158 average. And then as it was coming down, I was just booking profits, because I was in like 5 grand. So I was taking some of the 154s, some of the 153s. I got some off in the 150s. And we can see that my average out was 158. This is because I held to see if it would break the 145s. But to be honest, it's a 150 is a whole dollar number. You've got to expect some sort of resistance off that. I should have took me profits, but I don't regret it. I give it a chance. As soon as it popped up to the 160s, I actually covered into the panic, thinking it might go all the way back up, and took the rest of the profits at the 168s. So very solid trade, and to be honest, by the end of the day, it consolidated the entire day, and I pretty much took the whole move. Could I have been more aggressive into the 2s? Yes, but what if it was that anomaly that blew through the 3s? I really wanted to see these wicks, these big rejections, and then I'm following the trend down. And it's very easy to see that once you have these big wicks, the signs of the big short orders coming in, I'm just following the trend. And it's a shitty stock. And this, I would trade this every day if I could. Granted, it's brutal. Granted, it's hard and scary to short into this, because it looks like it's never going to end, but with confidence and practice, you get there. Oh, this is ENT, November's Extraterrestrial. I'm sending them home. But just to break it down for you, these guys, you can see on Stocks to Trade, profile, global legal entertainment, include a full service provider of content connectivity and digital media solutions for airlines. So it's that backward service that you get on the airplanes that is never good enough. Not on Emirates, and God knows American Airlines. I only hear bad shit about that thing. But anyway, 2-year chart. It's obviously a failing company. It's probably one of the worser, if that's a word, entertainment solutions companies, because it's down from the 10s to the 3s. And I've just marked this out because if you've watched any of my last videos, which I hope you have, you can see that it's got this clear level of support where it's been falling and it's bounced, dropped a little bit, but then bounced, and then it fell through. So support becomes resistance. So I'm always watching this 3-line, maybe even not really that, because it's only temporary. The longer it supports for, the stronger the line is. So generally, I'm looking at the 3s, and the history is that there kind of is no history. The news is there is no news. They've got a delayed 10Q out, and they keep on asking for extensions with the Nasdaq. God knows why. Probably because the earnings are terrible, but you never know. But it pushed up on this day on kind of, I don't know what the news was, maybe it was a bit of a squeeze. There was no news, it was just asking for an extension on its earnings. And then I was short on this day thinking, well, I'll risk, it was opening, gapping up in the 250s, and I was like, I'll short anything into the 260s, the 270s, the 280s, and build a position, and I'll risk off 3. If it goes through 3, I'm out. So I'll risk like 20 cents, and the ideal is that it'll come all the way back down to the 2s ultimately, to make 40, 50 cents. It was kind of 2 to 1, but on this one, I've been a bit fucked up ever since the thing with DCIX happened, which you would have just saw in the previous video. And when I was watching the 1 minute chart, it was failing pre-market, and as soon as I saw these wicks like top, 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 and it was coming down but top, 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 I was immediately shorting into the 260s because I was like, this isn't going to come down. And then I took some profits in the 240s, and it squeezed up, which was a shame because I ended up thinking, well, if it goes above higher day, I'll cut. But luckily for me, it faded, and I was taking profits in the 50s and then in the high 40s, and then the last was in the 42s after market because I fell asleep and woke up again. But the important thing to remember is I didn't stick to my plan, and had I have stuck to my plan and started in short in the 270s, I would have took from the 270s to the 240s, but I didn't. I got over aggressive and was a dumbass. Chased it when I saw this top in action, and that's a different trade. If you're going for a washout because it looks weak in the morning, you should be covering all of your position when it bottomed off yesterday's support. We can see there, kind of closed bottom here, and when it wasn't, I mean, it's funny because it did make this lower high, but then it just ripped up, so it kind of caught me by surprise. But you should have been taking profits here if you're playing just for a washout in the morning. But I wasn't. I was playing for a fade all day, and I shouldn't have took this. I should have waited to see what happened when it did rip up short into the 170s and then cover all day, and that would have been, I mean, my position overall was about 10 grand if you think. In an ideal world, shorting some in the 270s, some in the 260s, 265 average, taking about 15 cents on 10 grand. I mean, I don't know. It would have been. It's probably working out about this. Maybe I would have took an extra 100 or 200, so it would have been a $400 or $500 win instead of a $220 win. So, but I'm not going to complain.
What's up, guys? I'm back. Jeevan here. Wrong way. Got a fresh beer. And you know what it is? Like, I'm gonna make this. First of all, I want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you for the ongoing support. It's growing, especially with the Steady Trade podcast. When I first started this YouTube channel, people used to fucking laugh at us and say what a joke I was. How I'd never make it and I'd run out of cash before I ran out, and then I'd run out of enthusiasm. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? Guess what? If you've got the clear enough vision, and if you fucking believe enough, it comes, but you've got to envisage every day. Like I read in a psychology book, if you sit and close your eyes and think where you're going to be, and you have that emotion where you see where you're going to be, that'll inspire you to work. And I didn't even need to do that because I just fucking believed so much. And I'm so pleased that I'm not delusional because I knew it. And you can get there too. I'll be making videos literally until the day I fucking die, which I hope is when I'm 90. So you'll be seeing Jeevan a lot more, but I just hope to take 1 or 2 of you along with us. There's no secret that 95% of traders lose. It's no secret that I spend 10 hours of my day fucking in my bedroom studying. But it's all for the higher purpose. It's also I can just have a beer and say fuck the world. Fuck everybody. I'm not coming to work tomorrow. It's on my terms, motherfucker. And that's where I'm going to get. Maybe I'll be traveling the world sooner than you guys think. Until then, live the dream. We will not fail. I want to see you on the travels. Come in St. Michael, motherfucker. I'll see you later.